In the headlines for this hour, VTV News. Government holds key meeting on organizational streamlining initiative. And businesses pursue growth opportunities in Halal market. In our new tensions rise in South Korean politics.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. On Wednesday morning, State President Lương Cường and the National Assembly delegations of Thanh Hóa Province met with voters after the 8th session of the 15th National Assembly. State President Lương Cường briefed voters about some of the country's outstanding achievements in socio-economic and foreign affairs since the beginning of the year, attributing these results to the high level of solidarity and unity. During the meeting, voters raised several recommendations regarding support for teachers and students in mountainous areas, assistance for people facing emergencies, and matters concerning the law on militia and self-defense forces and civil defense activities. In response to these recommendations, State President Lương Cường reaffirmed the party commitment to eliminating institutional bottlenecks and developing a streamlined, robust, and efficient organizational structure. On Wednesday morning, Prime Minister Phạm Minh chaired a government meeting to implement Resolution number 18 of the 12th Party Central Committee. He instructed ministries, branches, and agencies to thoroughly grasp the direction of the Central Steering Committee and government. They must promptly establish a steering committee with ministry support teams to implement Resolution 18 and promote organizational streamlining initiative. The Prime Minister acknowledged this as a difficult, complicated, and sensitive task, but emphasized its necessity, citing the current cumbersome apparatus with excessive administrative layers and intermediaries that create workflow bottlenecks. He outlined plans to streamline the structure by organizing multi-sectoral and multidisciplinary ministries, reducing intermediaries, and phasing out the models of general departments under the ministries. During his official visit to Japan, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn met with leaders of Japanese corporations and enterprises. In discussion with the Federation of Japanese Economic Organizations, Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn emphasized Vietnam's commitment to welcoming business activities by removing institutional barriers and enhancing human resources and infrastructure. The Vietnamese National Assembly has enacted key legislation, including amendments to the law on public investment, revisions to 4 investment laws, and modifications to 9 finance and budget laws, all aimed at strengthening the legal framework and improving conditions for foreign enterprises, including Japanese companies. Additionally, the National Assembly passed the revived electricity law and approved the restart of the Ninh Thuận nuclear power project, recognizing that reliable power supply is investor primary concern when establishing operations in Vietnam. As of the end of November, the disbursement rate for public investment from foreign sources in ministries and sector has not yet reached half of the planned target, standing at just over 39%. 4 out of 10 ministries have yet to disburse any foreign investment fund for public projects. The Ministry of Finance has worked closely with other ministries to implement measures to accelerate public investment disbursement, aiming for at least 95% of the plan to be disbursed by the end of the year. At a recent 8th session, the National Assembly officially approved the policy to restart the Ninh Thuận nuclear power project after an 8-year suspension. The government has been tasked with urgently allocating resources for implementation. At the same time, Ninh Thuận province has immediately begun readying infrastructure at 2 planned project sites. These sites selected after rigorous evaluation by domestic and international experts meet the strict criteria of the International Atomic Energy Agency.
Thaian village of Ninh district is chosen as one of the planned nuclear power plant sites. Residents are optimistic about the project.
We agree with the state's policy. This was a revolutionary area in the past. We see the importance of contributing our little efforts to the country's growth and development.
The people hoped the project would be implemented soon and that policies would be put in place to help locals stabilize production and livelihoods.
The project spans 380 hectares in Thaian village and 440 hectares in Vinh Trung village. Infrastructure development is underway, and it is planned to be completed by year-end. Both production and residents' quality of life are safeguarded.
Having implemented Resolutions 31 and 41, we ensure long-term land use management aligned with the development of power projects. This serves as a foundation for the immediate implementation of nuclear power initiatives.
The restart of the Ninh Thuận nuclear power project addresses national energy needs. It presents an opportunity for the province to progress toward becoming Vietnam's renewable energy hub. With strong local support and careful planning, the project is poised to bring long-term benefits to the region and the country.
The Halal market, with approximately 2 billion people, is 4 times larger than Europe in terms of population. Due to its high growth potential, many Vietnamese companies have been seeking ways to tap into this promising market.
With dragon fruit exports declining in traditional markets, this company chose to explore a new direction, targeting Muslim-majority countries in Southeast Asia. With rising logistics costs, we see nearby countries as great opportunities, particularly those with large Muslim communities. We recognize their huge potential and are focusing on emerging markets like Malaysia and Indonesia. Seafood represents another promising opportunity. While the UAE currently receives only 0.5% of Vietnam's shrimp exports,
we are expanding into the Middle East through the UAE and other regions. In the coming years, the seafood industry will see significant opportunities in this market.
the recent free trade agreement between Vietnam and the UAE is expected to boost these export values significantly. We need to focus on processed products like frozen and dried fruit and fruit juices to be competitive.
By entering the challenging yet high-potential halal market, we can significantly increase our export capacity and value.
Beyond obtaining halal certification, Vietnamese businesses must understand consumer preferences and capitalize on their strengths to succeed in the halal market.
According to the Global Islamic Economy Report, spending on halal products and services is expected to reach nearly $1.7 trillion by 2025. This presents a significant opportunities for Vietnam agriculture and seafood products to enter the halal market, provided there is strategic and effective investment. Vietnam has strength in agricultural products, which is rice, pepper, cashews, coffee, and coconut products, processed food, poultry, beef, milk, and seafood. However, these strengths have yet to be fully realized in value. To gain a foothold in this trillion-dollar market, Vietnam needs to make greater effort to compete with other countries. Vietnam currently exports only 20 halal certified products, with 41% of its localities lacking any halal certified exports. This limited presence makes establishing a fully integrated halal ecosystem in Vietnam challenging for businesses.
To meet halal certification requirements, this company will soon need to hire Muslim employees for key stages in its production process to align with Islamic cultural practices. Additionally, processing and packaging areas must be segregated from non-halal products. All slaughtering, processing, and packaging procedures will be closely monitored by authorized halal agencies or certifying bodies.
The biggest investment is in human resources. It's essential to ensure that our team is well trained while maintaining the necessary standards required by halal organizations.
The company must demonstrate a fully compliant production chain that meets various halal standards, from animal breeding and feed composition to disease safety in farming regions.
We need to connect with farmers and ensure they fully understand the detailed requirements of international markets. With this understanding, they'll be able to enhance their product's value.
According to a representative from the SPS Vietnam office, to succeed in the halal market, businesses must have a clear understanding of religious, language, and cultural differences in each export market.
We are actively working with ministries and local authorities to communicate and update halal market regulations to businesses in regions requiring guidance.
Businesses and the agricultural sector are steadily working to enter the promising halal market. Today, Vietnam has signed 6 of 17 halal-related free trade agreements, FTAs, giving companies a potential edge in expanding their exports to this market.
And before moving on to some other news, let's take a look at foreign exchange rate for today, December 4th. Coming up next on VTV News, farmers adopt climate change-ready rice varieties. And investing in Vietnam cultural heritage and development. The People's Committee of Quảng Nam Province has issued a directive to its departments and agencies on proactive measures to address earthquakes and natural disasters impact. The directive particularly focuses on Nam Cha My district, where a recent earthquake caused rocks to tumble into a village, endangering dozens of households. The committee has instructed authorities to assess the situations, evaluate damage, and determine the earthquake's impact on residential areas and infrastructure. Officials must swiftly implement rescues and recovery efforts to ensure resident safety. The directive also calls for budget allocation and resource mobilization to support severely affected households and restore critical infrastructure as needed. Rice production is facing numerous challenges due to unpredictable weather changes such as drought, saltwater intrusion, floods, and rising temperatures. To proactively address these challenges and protect against pests and diseases, farmers have taken the initiative to select rice varieties that are both cost-effective and high-yielding.
For the first time, this farmer has planted a tree-line hybrid rice variety. The plants are thriving and healthy. Throughout the growing season, pesticide use has been minimal, leading to substantial cost savings.
This is our first time growing the Thuy Hương 308 rice variety. This variety has shown vigorous tillering and disease resistance, helping us save money on pesticide, fertilizers, and seeds.
Vietnam has successfully developed approximately 40 new climate-resilient rice varieties. The devastating impact of Typhoon Yagi on nearly 200,000 hectares of rice underscores the importance of science in developing new rice varieties. These varieties need better lodging and disease resistance while maintaining high yields and quality.
Recently, the government issued Decree 112 on the management and use of rice-growing land. Among the tasks assigned to localities, provincial people's committees are responsible for planning high-quality rice production areas. To achieve this goal, we need to establish criteria for rice varieties that are adaptable to climate change and have high yields and quality.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development's 2025 plan for improving crop production, particularly rice cultivation, emphasizes quality and suitable genetic structures as crucial factors. This initiative combines the development of new varieties with environmentally friendly cultivation methods to ensure sustainable and responsible agriculture.
Vietnam has over 7 million people with disabilities, but only about 32% are employed. Providing job opportunities for people living with disability calls for active collaboration from businesses. Some companies have begun addressing this need by hiring those workers and designing workplaces accommodating their health and capabilities.
Diligent, hardworking, and just as productive as anyone else despite her disability, Phuong has been a dedicated employee at an electronics factory in Quay Va Industrial Park for the past 4 years.
My life is better now. I get along with others and have a stable income.
The company has modified work desks with footrests and designed easy access paths from the cafeteria to the restroom for employees with disabilities.
The factory ensures we have the same working conditions as everyone else, with equal benefits and support. We're also given time to rest when needed. As a result, I feel that life is better and more joyful.
While people with disabilities may not be suited for all roles, it's important to determine which businesses can hire them and the positions they can fill.
Bac Ninh has 340,000 workers in industrial zones, but only 200 with disabilities. Nationwide, 60% of people with disabilities face unemployment or unstable, low-income jobs.
A systematic strategy covering training and support is needed to help workers with disabilities join the labor market. This strategy should focus on market policies rather than just humanitarian ones.
The revised employment law includes employment policies for people with disabilities, aiming to create opportunities for their independence and full participation in the labor market.
The National Assembly has recently approved the investment plan for the 2025-2035 National Target Program on Cultural Development. Local authorities have reviewed key areas needing investment, aiming to meet goals while preventing wasteful and scattered spending.
The cultural house in Soi Tăng village, Mường Khoa, Bắc Yên, Sơn La, is one of many cultural facilities across northern mountainous provinces that need to be renovated and repaired.
Some children have fallen many times while playing here. When it rains, this area becomes very slippery. The doors are all damaged now.
We have proactively reviewed the cultural centers in the villages. The main focus is on restoring cultural houses that have deteriorated.
Ensuring the effective operation of cultural facilities in communes and villages is one of the objectives set for 2030 under the National Target Program on Cultural Development.
I hope that the authorities will allocate resources to preserve and safeguard the distinctive cultural values of the Vietnamese people.
We have proactively reviewed and developed a plan. Once implemented, we will ensure timely and effective execution of the National Target Program, which we are eagerly awaiting.
The proactive efforts of local authorities will ensure the program is carried out effectively, efficiently, and in a manner that avoids waste and misuse of resources.
The 10th National External Information Service Award ceremony took place as of December 3rd. At the event, Politburo member, Party Central Committee Secretary, Head of the Central Propaganda Department, Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, emphasized that this year, thousands of competing entries have highlighted the image of a dynamic, integrated, and resilient Vietnam overcoming challenges while affirming its cultural identities and historical traditions. He urged that in the coming time, the external information sector should continue to improve in quality, mobilize and involve the people and international friends in a nationwide effort and international solidarity for the external information work. Dalat City in Lâm Province is experiencing its most vibrant period with flower blooming during the 10th Dalat Flower Festival. This year's festival showcases dedicated flower growers who have combined their years of experience with global industry practices to offer visitors an impressive floral feast.
This newly introduced flower variety arrived just in time for this year's Dalat Flower Festival. Its delicate hues have drawn visitors who come to admire its beautiful petals and learn its story.
Both businesses and individuals can introduce new flower varieties to the market. The festival also provides a great opportunity for everyone in the flower industry to network and enhance the festival's prestige.
The Dalat Flower Festival is driving positive changes in the flower industry. Local growers and suppliers are using this platform to strengthen Dalat's reputation and reach new markets through their stunning floral displays.
Members of the Flower Association have dedicated their efforts and contributed their finest flowers to ensure the success of this year's festival.
The festival brings flowers' beauty closer to people through innovative street displays. Visitors to the farms can immerse themselves in a world of vibrant colors.
There's a wide variety of flowers here. I can see a mix of purple lavender, daisies, hydrangeas, all in one place.
Each year, Lâm Đồng produces 3.6 billion flower stems, making it one of the Southeast Asia's leading flower production centers. The Flower Festival provides an opportunity to showcase the value of Dalat flowers, attracting growers from across the region. Their dedication and passion have helped elevate Dalat's reputation to greater heights.
Coming up next in our World News, tensions rise in South Korean politics. And Russia increases defense budget. The United States, Japan, China, and many other countries are closely monitoring developments in South Korean politics following South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol's declarations of martial law on Tuesday evening. President Yoon agreed to lift martial law on Wednesday morning under pressure from lawmakers. Troops deployed to enforce martial law have returned to their bases, restoring a sense of normalcy. The South Korean presidential office announced that their senior advisors to President Yoon, including their chief of staff, national security advisor, and 8 others, have offered to resign. The government pledges to use all available resources to minimize the impact on financials and foreign exchange market amid the political uncertainty. On December 3rd, the president declared martial law, accusing the opposition of anti-state activities and plotting rebellion. The South Korean National Assembly immediately convened and passed a resolution demanding the lifting of martial law. Russian President Vladimir Putin has approved a budget plan to increase military spending to a record level in 2025, accounting for a third of government spending. The decision comes amid an escalating conflict in Ukraine. Specifically, Russia's 2025 budget will allocate about $126 billion to national defense, equivalent to 32.5% of total government spending. This figure is about $28 billion higher than the previous record set this year. Russia's increased defense spending is seen as a strategy to gain military advantages in the Ukraine conflict before entering the upcoming negotiation phase. The European Commission EC on Tuesday announced a €4.6 billion investment package to boost the green energy transitions and reduce EU's dependence on fossil fuels. The budget allocates €1 billion specifically for developing the electric vehicles battery industries in Europe and €1.2 billion to accelerate renewable hydrogen production. The remaining €2.4 billion will be earmarked for carbon-neutral projects in various sectors. The EC has partnered with the European Investment Bank to maximize the investment package effectiveness. Member states can use national funds to support renewable hydrogen production projects within their territories. The United States aims to triple its nuclear power capacity by 2050. This new plan from the U.S. government seeks to expand green energy sources, strengthen energy security, and support future development. More to follow.
The United States currently has over 50 commercial nuclear power plants, which provide about half of the nation's carbon-free energy. To achieve net zero emissions by 2050 and ensure energy security, the U.S. needs an additional 700 to 900 gigawatts of clean electricity, approximately triple the current nuclear power capacity. The U.S. government has recently invested $900 million in developing safer, more advanced reactor technology. To ensure a stable power supply for artificial intelligence, AI, and big data development, the private sector has also entered the fray. Technology giants like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon have been signing long-term electricity purchase and investment agreements with energy corporations. Microsoft alone has signed a multi-billion-dollar deal to purchase electricity for 20 years from the 3 Mile Island plant, which experienced a partial meltdown in 1979. These investments from the private sector have revitalized and improved the safety of these plants.
The greatest opportunity for the rest of the nuclear industry to learn the lessons, and that was back in 1979. So many fundamental changes have occurred in our industry such that our nuclear plants operate better than any nuclear plant in the world today.
Despite significant upfront costs, nuclear power is increasingly viewed as a necessary step toward a cleaner, more stable energy future, particularly as energy demands from AI and big data sectors continue to grow.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's all the news for today. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download a mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.